What's up, YouTube? It's Theo back with another video. Today, I'm gonna talk about the pros and cons of doing Uber Eats. That's what we're gonna talk about today, the pros and cons. First off, I'm gonna say if you looking for a side hustle and you don't mind driving on the road, Uber Eats, you should definitely lock in. Even DoorDash, whatever. But I'm gonna talk about Uber Eats because that's what I was doing. Pros and cons. It's a lot of pros, but it's for sure some cons. First pro, I'm gonna say, just like with any of those delivery services, delivering food or whatever, the pro is you on your own time. You basically your own boss. You gonna get up when you feel like it. You gonna leave out when you feel like it. So if you don't like getting up early, you ain't gotta get up early. If you like being out late, you can be out late. You got pros and cons. So you can be out Ubering during breakfast hours. You can be out Ubering during dinner hours. It don't matter. But it's that's a pro. That's a major pro for me because I like moving on my own timing. So if you like moving on your own timing, Uber Eats, that can be something for you. Now, a con to that, I would say, definitely is it's it's up and down. It's not always your phone ain't gonna always just be giving you calls to make and do drop off orders. Like it may be slow. You may be sitting there online and you ain't getting nothing for hours. So it's like one day you can go out Ubering, you may leave like in the morning, your whole morning you just nonstop. Nonstop. You got orders going nonstop. And then the next day or two or three, sometimes all week, you ain't got nothing going in the morning. So like that's a con. It's not consistent. It's not consistent enough, definitely to where you can do it full time, which I know it's people that's doing it full time, and you can, but it all depends on your area. Like some areas, they're gonna get more traffic. Depending on where you located at, is gonna determine whether or not you can be doing it full time or not. Depending on where you at, you can be located in a good city, but you might not be in a good area where they got a lot of restaurants at. So you have to. That's another con. If you not in an area that's next to restaurants, you're gonna have to drive. You're gonna have to post up somewhere at one of these restaurants in that area and just chill until your phone, you know what I'm saying, until you get a call to do something. And that's a con because you gotta imagine in the summertime it's hot. So you gonna obviously if you sitting with your car on, well, you running your gas for one, then you got your AC on, so you really burning gas. And you another con, like man, I'm getting a lot of cons with this already. We just go start off with the cons. Cause you spending all that gas waiting to go somewhere, waiting till you get a call, and they don't pay you for gas. That's coming out of your pocket. So a lot of the money that you making doing Uber Eats, a lot of that money is going back to gas. So it can be looking like you're making a lot of money, but so much is going back to gas. It's crazy. It's crazy. Especially if you don't have like it's if you doing Uber Eats or anything like that, you want to have a small vehicle. You don't want to have no big SUV or no V8, nothing. Or you ain't gonna make no money. You're just gonna be wasting your time. You don't want that's rule number one. You might want to take notes on that. If you got a V8 SUV, I don't care if you got a car that's a V8, you ain't gonna want to be doing no Ubering for sure, because you're gonna spend way too much gas. It's not gonna be worth it unless you got like some people make they give you big tips, but that's not guaranteed and it's not consistent enough to be spending that type of gas doing Uber. It's a con. Another con is this probably one of the most cons I hate the worst about doing Uber Eats is when you drive to a restaurant and somebody already picked up the order. You hear? Check it out. So imagine if your restaurant that you took an order that's 10, 15 miles away. You just drove 10, 15 miles to pick up this order because the order, let's say it was a lot of money. It's probably like $60, $70. So you jumped on it instantly, accepted that order, drove 10, 15 miles out there to get it, and you get to the restaurant and they say, somebody already got that order. And there's nothing you can do about it. Uber, they don't pay you back for that. You don't get no gas back. You can call them and report that or whatever. They're not paying you no gas money back. So you just missed out on time and money because you could have ignored that. You could have ignored that call and just waited till something else came, and it would have been legit. Versus you accepting that when you drove 15 miles and somebody already got that order. And this would be so messed up. I'm gonna tell you how that be happening, cause it happened to me so many times. I was just straight on doing the Uber, because what happens is whenever you drop off an order, whenever you go pick up an order, when you're doing Uber Eats, the restaurant is supposed to make sure you confirm that order on your phone. They're supposed to watch you, show them your phone, and then you swipe and you confirm it. So the problem is a lot of restaurants don't be doing that. So in return, when they just let you pick up the food, like you go in there and say, hey, I'm here for, I got an Uber Eats for, let's say, I don't know, Terrence, whatever. You got an Uber Eats for Terrence. And they'll just say, oh, okay. They see they got Terrence on the bag, you came for Terrence, they must know, okay, it's legit for you to go pick it up. You go pick up that Uber, and then you just walk up out of there. You got a food, just walk up out of there, right? You never confirmed that order. So when a restaurant let somebody walk up out of there without confirming the order, that gives them the opportunity to just cancel that order. Yes, they can cancel your order. They can just cancel that order, and then you already know what they're going to do with it once they cancel it. That's their food now. They just going to eat that, and they're going to get away with it. You know why? Because it's really the restaurant fault. They supposed to make sure they confirmed the order before they left. And Uber Eats can't do nothing to the person that canceled it. I ain't gonna say they can't do nothing, but I'm not sure if they're doing anything if somebody just did that randomly, because anybody can cancel an order just because you went. All this showed was that you was at the location to pick up the food. Like, they don't see you actually physically, the Uber, they don't see you actually physically grab food or none of that. The restaurant people saw you do it, but Uber Eats didn't see you do that. So all Uber Eats can do, they tracking your location, so they know where you're at. But you can be at a location and you can just change your mind, or something can come up, whatever reason. You have the right to cancel your order. You know what I'm saying? So all they seen was that you was there and you canceled it. That's why the restaurant was supposed to make sure that you confirmed it. That's what lets Uber Eats know that you actually physically had the food once you confirmed it. But when a restaurant don't have you do that, then you got a lot of people that just be canceling the orders and eating the food. And then what happens is that call stays like in a queue. It stays in the queue. It keeps going. So all it does is it just keep pitching out, and it just keep getting sent to other people's phones. And now you got 9, 10, 11, 12 people constantly coming to the same restaurant to pick up that same order that somebody already got. And every time they come in the restaurant, they like, oh man, you like the 5th, 6th person that came. Oh, you like the 7th person. Man, you like the 10th person. I don't know what's going on. We already sent that order out. I know what's going on. The person that y'all sent, that the very first person that came to get that order had canceled it. They never confirmed it. So it's just shot back right out in the queue. So it's just they sending the order still out. And then the person, you accept that order, then the person to be hitting you up like, hey, where's my food, whatever like that. Now you got to tell them like, hey, I'm up here. They said somebody already got it. So now they mad or whatever, but that ain't your fault. But it's just like that's that's a major problem. I feel like Uber Eats really need to fix that. Cause why are you not paying somebody their gas back after they just drove all these miles to pick up an order that y'all sent to their phone at the end of the day, and they accepted it? Like, I feel like you should get reimbursed for your time and travel for that, but they don't do that. That's a major con, major. I'm gonna go over to the pros. Like, uh, uh, uh another pro, like, you can move how you want to move. You can leave out when you want to. It ain't no boss. It's not like working for Amazon when you got a certain amount of packages or whatever you gotta deliver and drop off. Like, it's all on you. You can make easily over $100 a day by probably having like 10, 10 deliveries. Like, especially like on the weekend. On the weekend, people be tipping good. On the weekend is when I made the most money doing Uber Eats. That Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even sometimes starting Thursday. But the weekends for sure, like, you gonna make your most money on Uber Eats during the weekend. Cause why? It's the weekend. Most people off. They spending money. They in good moods. They leaving good tips. You'll make a lot of money on the weekend. I definitely recommend doing any one of those, from Uber Eats, DoorDash, any of those delivery food for a side hustle, because you could be working your regular job, and then when you get off work the same day, or when you off on the weekends, your off days or whatever, you can go do your Uber Eats, and now you can make up a lot of extra money. You can make that's your own overtime, and you doing it how you want to do it. So it's some pros and cons to doing Uber Eats, and it's definitely worth it. If you got your own car, you got a V6, you got a smaller car, V6, uh, it's definitely worth. If you looking to make some extra money, and that's worth it. That's better than like going to a part time job. Like, well, ain't no way. Like, unless the part time job paying a crazy amount of money, you better off just doing a Uber Eats than getting you a part time job. Because the part time job is still a real job. You still gotta be there when they tell you to be there and do what they tell you to do. Uber Eats, you moving that wheel. It's at your own freedom, 100%. You take whatever orders you want to take, wherever you want to travel. It's all on you. You make the call. Like, it's on you. So definitely, it's worth doing it. But like I said, what other cons we got when it come to Uber Eats? What else did I like about it? I think that's probably the most I didn't like about it. That's probably just going to them restaurants, and they already somebody already got your order. That's the worst. And the gas money, the amount of money you spending on gas, that's the worst. And then you got to think, even in the wintertime, like right now in the wintertime, if you out there and if you don't stay close to restaurants, you got to be out there, and that's like in the parking lot. You sitting in the parking lots and stuff like that, and you gonna be using your heat, so you gonna be using a lot of gas. Like, if you ain't getting no orders coming in, you finna be wasting gas. I mean, it have been times I done went out. Sometimes you can be out there where the restaurants at, and you still ain't getting no, like, they still ain't sending you no orders to pick up no food. So, man, that's where it be the worst. Cause now you just it's a it's not consistent. It's not consistent enough to be reliable and dependent on. But it's crazy. I know people that when it first came out, back when Uber Eats, when people first started doing it, I talked to people and they said they was making like over $200 a day on a regular basis. A lot of people was leaving a full-time jobs to do Uber, and not even just Uber Eats, just a regular Uber. Okay, that's another pro. I'm talking about that. But a lot of people was leaving their full jobs to go do Uber back when it first came out. Now it's just like everything else. Like, once people catch on to stuff, it gets saturated. So not only that's another problem. It's so saturated. It's so many people doing it now. That's why it's not as many orders as it was before everybody was doing it like that. So, but back to my point, another pro with the Uber Eats, they also set you up to, you can get set up to do three things on Uber. You can do Uber Eats at the same time. You can do the regular Uber if you don't mind dropping people off, and you can do the it's the Uber where you shopping. So they got like their own Instacart type stuff. You can shop. I didn't did that before. I just want to try it. Like, so it's people, they hitting Uber up, and you going to get groceries for them. You going to regular stores picking out stuff for them, like regular shopping. So that's a pro. So if you ain't had no type of income coming in, you can make some money for sure. Download the app, set your car up. You got, if your license is good, your insurance good, your car good, you good. You gonna make some money. That's for sure. If you got your own car, license straight, insurance straight, it is no reason for you to have absolutely zero, and your car is running. It's no reason for you to have $0 because you can easily make some money doing Uber, and you still working for yourself. Whether it's as much money as you probably need for all your bills, you would get money to put in your pocket to help out. You know what I'm saying? With your bills or eating or whatever you need, is you gonna get some money. You know what I'm saying? So it's worth doing it. And then, like I said, if you got a regular job, you add that money on top of that. Now you got you a decent amount. You know, because all your money for your regular job can be take care of your bills, and then everything you making Ubering can just be all what you saving or investing in or whatever. You know, that's the smart way to do it, for real. You know, what else I say? What's another pro that I did like doing the Uber Eats? I'm gonna tell you another con. There's a lot more cons than pros I seen. Another con is when you are doing Uber Eats, you do not want to do that on an empty stomach. I'm telling you, do not ever go doing Uber Eats on an empty stomach. You are going to regret it. You're gonna regret it. That's the worst. People are ordering from some of the best restaurants, good food, and when you hungry, it ain't even gotta be the best restaurants. Just some fried chicken to do. Your stomach gonna be touching your back. I'm talking about all that food that you just smelling and you ain't ate nothing. You gonna be tempted to just, but you can't do that though. But you don't want to do that on no empty stomach ever. I'm telling you, gonna have to stop. And when you Ubering, another thing where I used to mess up at doing the Uber Eats was sometimes I'll Uber and I'll be out all day. Like I had some days be busy to where from the morning to the night, I'm all day Ubering. And I was treating it like a job, like so, but I didn't take a lunch with me. That's what I should have did. That's another thing you want to do if you Ubering and you trying to save money at the same time. If you're going to be Ubering all day, you want to take a lunch with you. Because if you don't take a lunch, for one, you're going to be going into the money that you're supposed to be saving. Because just like you out there delivering their food, when you out there all that time, all day long from the morning to night, you're going to be hungry too. So you're going to end up spending your money on these same restaurants. And a lot of these restaurants ain't cheap. It ain't too many restaurants that's cheap now. Everything high now. If you want to be decent, you're going to spend at least $10, $15 just to get some in your stomach now. So imagine you spending that every day, because you ain't bringing you out every day from the morning to the night doing Uber Eats, and you ain't brought no food with you. Now you're going to be spending $10, $15, more like $15 every time you buy yourself something to eat while you out. And you add that up every single day. Now you going into your profit, not only on gas, but also on food. So it's smart for you if you know you're gonna be out like that. Take you a lunch with you like you at a job, cause that is your job for real. It's your hustle, it's your own. But you gonna want a lunch with you, and definitely you ain't gonna want to be riding around on no empty stomach. For sure. And some places, another thing, most times Uber Eats was good with the navigation, but sometimes people be staying in some weird little places, and that navigation it'll throw you off. And sometimes you will be circling around. If that navigation start acting crazy, and you have to call people. Cause I remember one time I'm talking about the navigation that literally take you to somebody else's address, and you would be going in circles. You would try to go a different way, and you still be going in circles. I had a few times I had to call people, and they had to direct me the right way because the navigation was just constantly taking me to a different house, and they all tell me that they do everybody like that. So for whatever reason, some areas it ain't the navigation be messing up, and it'll send you to the wrong spot, and that'll throw you off. Especially if you gotta imagine it be sometimes I'm thinking I'm finna do something real quick, and this navigation to mess up. Now something I thought I was finna do real quick, make quick $10-15. I didn't spend half of that in gas because I've been trying to find out where this place at. So it just defeated the purpose of me even taking that order. If I know I was gonna spend half of it on gas like that, that's another con to it. Doing that Uber Eats. Um, but it's overall, like I said, it's worth it. It's worth having that under your belt. It's just like when I speak about just having other different streams of income, that's worth just having under your belt. You can do it whenever you want to do it. Hell, you can do it when you bored. I didn't done it sometimes when I was just bored. I ain't had nothing else to do, and someone come up, $35 to go right down the street. I'm just like, what? Then a lot of times that's when it'll start picking up. So you would take this order for $35 to go right down the street, and then as soon as you get done with that, they'll send you something else, and this may be $20. Now you had no intentions on Uber, and you done made 50 something dollars right out the gate. So now at this point, you motivated to do more. So then that day end up turning out to well over $100, easy. You know what I'm saying? Easy. It's when I tell you when it's going up on Uber Eats, it's going up. You gonna make some money, especially the holiday time. I didn't go out on the holidays. I figured when nobody be ordering on the holidays, but I don't know. I was thinking like, dang, what if it is busy on the holidays and people was tipping more? You probably could have made a lot of money working on like the holidays like Thanksgiving or Christmas or something. I don't know. I don't think nobody be ordering like that. It ain't nothing open for real. So nah, I probably was good sitting those holidays out for real. They probably wasn't no calls coming through for real. This ain't like a job where you getting that holiday pay. So that's another con again. You ain't getting no holiday pay unless people want to tip good. But other than that, nah, you ain't getting no holiday pay. Yeah. Then you got some people, man, they be one thing I ain't like is some people will ask you to sit they food. They'll want their food to be placed somewhere. Like they specify drop my food off at the door. No, they'll specify say they gonna meet you at the door, and then they turn around, and when you get there, then they'll say drop it off over here instead. That's cool and all. You can easily change it, but when I first started doing it, when I didn't know, like when I very first started doing it, I didn't know what to do in that situation because the app used to mess up. So if it was already locked in for me to meet them or it was, I can't remember whether it was meeting them and they changed it to dropping it off somewhere, or dropping it off somewhere and they chose to meet me instead. But you have to take a picture. So it was when you had to take a picture, when you got to drop it off, you got to take a picture. So that's what it was. So somebody would say, drop it off, and then you would take the picture. But they'll turn around and come to the door and just pick it up. So now, before they gave you a chance to take a picture, so now you ain't take the picture, and when you try to like confirm or whatever like that is waiting on a picture. The app used to start acting funny. It wouldn't let me like. I remember it was stuck. Like it wouldn't let me go past. Like I felt like I wasn't finna get paid because I ain't had a picture because they just had met me at the door instead of letting me take the picture and stuff. But now the app don't do that. It just when somebody do that, it lets you just skip it and then you'll add a note saying you met the customer instead. But sometimes the app used to freeze on that. Like it'll mess up and it wouldn't even let me like skip and add a note or nothing like that. So I remember it was stuck for like 10 minutes and then eventually it had went through and I seen my money come through. But it used to be glitching like that. Just like anything with technology. Sometimes it be having these glitches. But I ain't experienced that since when I first started. After that it was all good. Uh they got some places, what else? They're probably the most pros and cons. So if y'all thinking about doing Uber Eats, for sure, definitely it's worth it. For sure it's worth it. Like you going it's pros and cons with anything. I don't care what you do, you're gonna have your pros and cons. But that's a pro that's definitely worth having under your belt if you want to make some extra income. Definitely tap in with Uber Eats, and it's a lot of people now because I said it's saturated. So you got a lot of people now. Not only are they doing Uber Eats, they like with all of them. They doing Uber Eats, DoorDash, they doing Instacart, they doing Lyft, Uber, they doing it all. And yeah, you imagine that. So, and that's good because imagine if it's slow. If it may be slow on Uber, and then you just go right to DoorDash. DoorDash ain't slow today. Or you go right to Instacart. Instacart ain't slow. You see you got those other options to where it don't matter. Or they all can be doing slow. But you done did all of them in that same day, and now you done still made a lot of money. Because you was able to rotate like that. So that's the good thing about being locked in, having multiple streams like that. It's good to just have that stuff under your belt. So whenever you want to make some extra money, you can make you some extra money. It's definitely worth it, you know. But that's what I got for this video, y'all. Until next time, I'm out.